guys, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm going to show you how to do some fun macrame with some larger hole beads. And I grabbed a kind of like a bracelet, stretchy bracelet grab bag from Women's Shops World a while ago. And it came with a bunch of just fun stuff. And I haven't decided exactly which beads I'm going to use yet, but I saw some of these beads have large holes. And so I thought, what would be really fun to do is to put a macrame design together that uses them. So I'm going to be using some cord. I believe this is like a 0.6 millimeter Rattail cord. I'll drop links in my description to the items that I'm using. But this would work with lots of different stuff that you have. You know, in fact, things like the C-lons and B-lons and S-lons are all going to work. So just grab Chinese knotty cord, like all kinds of stuff like that, all going to work great. So I also have some rings. And these are some little made in Greece. I have a copper here in my hand, but they're 11.5 millimeter. Here the size doesn't matter. I'm just going to anchor to it. All right, so I'm going to turn on my other camera and show you a little closer view of the materials and what I'm going to be doing with the macrame design. All right, so what I did is look at this cool lime green color. Well, it's more like a mint green. I couldn't resist. I got this on Amazon. I'll send you guys the link to it in the chat here, or in the description. Sorry, forget where I am. So I'm going to be using this. It's kind of like a Rattail cord. It says Chinese knotting cord, but it really definitely has like a silkier. It's not your usual nylon. It's much more silky than that. It says the thickness is 0.6. Bunch of colors of it. Let me show you the other ones that I've got. I've got this one, which is light brown. I use this on Silky Sunday. And then this one is called, I think this was khaki. So the one's a little lighter. This one looks more like champagne to me. The one I grabbed, though, is this fun summer mint green because I think it's going to look really cool with some of the beads I'm hoping will fit. I cut 4 cords. So 1, here's 2, 3, and 4. And each of these cords is 27 inches long. So one by one, what I'm going to be doing is taking the ends and bringing them together. So each cord, we're just going to join the ends of it, bring it under and up through the component. And then when you pull it through, you'll get this little loop that looks like that. And just feed it up and through the loop. And so you'll get a lark's knot at the midpoint of that thread. Or that cord, I should say it's cord. So let me do one more. I'm going to bring from underneath up and through, and then over and through. And so you have a side that's got the hats on it, and then a side that doesn't. So when we get to that spot, I'll show you. It's okay to go ahead and use whichever side you like. But the way to keep it consistent is to just bring it under in the same. So if you go under, do that for all of them. And so here's my last one. And again, see, bringing it under and then up and through. We'll feed it through the loop. And there, we ended up doing them all together. So, all right. And I think I'm going to work with this side to start. I don't know which side I like better as the front, but I've noticed that a lot of the more professional macrame folks are using that as the front side. So let's go with that for now. I'm going to see if I have any scrap cord from one of my previous projects here. I have this little jar I keep of all my little scraps, and sure enough, it looks like I might have one. I want something to secure to the board. And so what I'm going to do is just bring this through. This is just a little scrap of, I'm not even sure what kind of cord it is. I found it in my little throwaway jar that I've got there. And just go ahead and knot that. And that can be put under the top of a clipboard, Or in this case, what I think I'm going to use today is I have one of these macrame boards. So I'll drop a link to this in the description too. I believe these are, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be findable on Amazon. So where you can find all the cord I'm using. And so you want to bring your, and actually, I wonder what side would be better to see on. You might be able to see a little better if I flip it to this side for the demo. But I'll try to mark, at least let you know which notches I'm using. And so again, I went with the side where the lark's knots are kind of hat sides to the back. And you can see how this knot is holding itself there like that. Pretty cool. All right. So this board is fun because it has these little notches in it, and it can enable me to isolate and identify different strands apart from each other. And so I had a vision of trying a new design. So here's what I'm using on currently, and I'm still not 100% sure where I'm going to take it, but I wanted to film it so that I have all the steps recorded in case I forget. So you guys are with me for the beginning part of the journey, which is often the funnest part, the discovery. So, and again, these are from Women Shops World, where I got all of these little beads, and they were from a grab bag, I believe, that was for making stretch bracelets. I don't know if it's because I got it a while ago, but I'll look and I'll try to link it. And if I can't find exactly, I'll try to find the beads I end up using. But I mean, it was like a bag of stuff. It was like loads and loads. I even thought about maybe pulling this one out. Some of those colors aren't really, with the lime green, I'm thinking I liked more of this pop of bone color. So I don't know, but I also thought some of these would be cute. It depends what fits the cord. And I'm looking at these and I'm saying, oh yeah, those are going to fit my cord, no problem. And maybe even 2 cords can get through. And that's maybe something that I needed to do as I get going. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's start by putting sets of these in the bottom notches in the order that they're here in. I'm going to grab this one. All right, and let's just start with these 2. For this one, I'm going to bring this cord over all of these cords. So it's the one that's furthest on the left. And some of you guys might recognize this from my class I did with Sam's Bead Shop. I started the same way. And I'm going to create a pretty dramatic downward from that. So the angle on that, one of the ways that I think of when I'm visualizing an angle is not so much the direction, but I just look at the space over here. So what I'm hoping for is space for a bead here. And I'm seeing that I'm going to get that on that spot. So that's where I'm going to bring the angle down to. And the notches on this, it makes a difference how low you suspended it. So it really wouldn't be super useful to reference that. But if you suspended yours like roughly at the fourth notch, then just skip 1, 2, 3, 4. So skip 5 from wherever you suspended it. That's one way you could think of it. All right, so I'm going to do a double half hitch knot. So bring this cord over, under, and pull through, and over and under, and pull. And then just go ahead and put that one at a corresponding section over there. And that'll hold everything steady for you. And then, so this is going to look super familiar if you were with me for last Seed Bead Saturday. So this is almost, what, 2, was it 2 ago? I've lost count where I am in time. It was either last week or the week before. So here's another double half hitch knot using the next cord inside. And you can secure that or just leave it. As long as you've got one secured, I feel like it holds its place pretty nicely. Again, going over and then under, pull tight, over, under, and pull tight. And I'm going to repeat that now with the next cord here. Oops, it's easy to grab the wrong one. Here we go. go. So this is the next one here. Bring this one over and under. And there we go. And just do that twice. And now this one can come up. All right. So far we have this. And now what I'm hoping is that I can get one of these beads to go on. So let me free one of them. And if it doesn't fit on both, then we'll just have it on one, but I'm going to see if I can get both cords through this bead. Oh yeah, there we go. And slide that up. And that looks nice. I could even use one of these. We'll start with this one and then we'll build into the others. All right, so I have 2 cords going through, but I am going to resecure the one that's furthest to the right and start by knotting the next one in from the left. So that's this one here. And again, this is just going to be a double half hitch knot. And now I can tie this last one. So there's our little bead floating there. And I'm actually going to leave this one secured here and bring these down. And then I'm going to take this cord right here, the one that we have attached. It's now the furthest on the left. And I'm going to bring it over and secure it in the same spot. And then go ahead and secure all but maybe the first 2 here to the bottom, just so that that's tight. You want that one to be tight right up against this. And I'm going to repeat this now. So starting with the next cord in from the left, bring it over, under, and pull tightly. And then bring this one over, under, and tight. And now that this one's good, I'm going to go ahead and secure it on the side. Next cord in. It's going to go over, under. So ignore this one. That's the old filler cord, right? We're using this new one as the filler cord. And in fact, it might be simpler to visualize if I was to isolate this one over here. I'm going to bring this one to its own. And that might help a little bit. So finishing the second half of that knot. I just wanted to try one where I have a thicker band, because what we were doing in my class last week was we had just one row of the double half hitch knots in each direction. So I wanted to try it this way and have it be all going to the same direction, just to see what it looks like. There's this one. All right. And last but not least, this beautiful one here. Hopefully those are nice and close together. All right, let me unsecure all of these and let's have a look at what we have so far. Basically, it's just 2 rows, right? But doesn't that look pretty? There's a really beachy vibe to it. I do love the diagonals. That is so pretty. So what I'm thinking, I have a couple ideas. I was going to make a few more rows just like that and bring all of the cords eventually would become filler cords, at which point we could decide where to go next. And that could be such a cool look. So I've never really done one like that before. So I think that's what I want to see, but it would mean we would have to do quite a few rows. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do another 6 just like this. And in each case, you'd be bringing this one over and knotting this one over. And so let's do one more together so that that makes sense. I'm going to bring this one. In fact, step 1 might be to isolate these out. So just bring that up and maybe even just gently, without putting tension on it, but just gently secure it out of the way to the top. Okay, and then let's secure these to the bottom. And you can put them in separate notches or all together. I might do separate for 2, 2, and 1. And then this will be the new filler cord. So this is the cord that gets knotted on top of. We'll bring it over and across, just like that. And bring it down to a notch that makes sense for the angle. And now we've got something to guide our angle. Let's grab this cord. And again, we're going to go over, under, and pull it. And then go over, under, and tighten. And now we can bring this one over here and bring our next cord up. Over, under, and tighten. Let's free the next cord. Last but not least, oops, did I do 2 with that one? Oh, sometimes when I get going, I get excited and I forget to do the second half of that double half hitch knot. Let's make sure that stayed tight. All right. So now we have a new set of filler cord to isolate out up here. And so that's looking really pretty, isn't it? So now we've got all these. And I'm going to take this one. It's going to become the new filler cord. So we'll bring it over here at an angle, tighten it there, and then secure these others here. So it actually gets pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and double half hitch knot each of these 4. So there we go, all 4 of those. And bring these up down. This is another filler cord, so we'll bring that one up. Now we've got these 3 left to go. Let me loosen that a little. It's kind of warping my direction. There we go. Okay, so now that's kind of staying centered where I want it. And sorry guys, when I move close to the camera, it's messing with the white balance. I apologize. It's definitely bright colors today. So here's the next filler. So we're going to bring that over. And let's go ahead and double half hitch knot each of these 3. There we go. Bring this one up. I might just give it its own little spot there. And so each one's going to have 1 less than the last time. So now we're down to these 2. And then bring this one over at an angle. And the same thing here. I'm going to double half hitch knot each of these 2 cords. There's 1. Oops. There we go. And 2. Tighten that one to the side. And now we have this to go. 1. to loosen everything up. This one's another filler. Bring it up. Okay, so far so good. This looks like waffle fries. Oh my goodness, do I need to get some waffle fries? Okay, so this one, we're going to go ahead and just do one. So cross this one on the farther to the left, bring it over. And give it a little tuck into that side. And with this one, we're going to have to create our own tension because we don't have anything pulling it on this side. So just one. And when I do this, I'm going to pull it kind of upward, right? And two. Let's see what we got. And my goal is to leave a little bit of strand hanging because I would like to have some really pretty looks happening. So now we have that. Isn't that cool? It's really pretty. So my vision is to have a row of something and then change direction and do one more like this. So you'll have like kind of two triangles facing each other and then one of these pretty beads, either one of those or maybe one of these kind of on the side. But we need to get over there first. And I was toying with the idea of finding 8 little beads or 4 beads that I can fit 2 through to kind of line this down here. So let me experiment for 1 second and I'll show you what I come up with. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. So I did experiment with a few beads, but at the end of the day, I thought, you know what, it's going to look cool, just the cord traveling. So what I think looks best is to take this cord here, now it's the one on the far right, and bring it over across. And then lock that in somewhere over here at an angle. Give that a little more that direction. There we go. And I'm going to pull these cords down here. And we're going to be working with this side first now, heading that way. So leave this one free. And then let's secure 2 by 2 all these others. There's 2. I have 1 for that. 2. And the last one. So we got a nice tight filler cord crossing over this way. And I'm going to bring this over, under, up, over, under, and up. And then I'm going to lock it in over here. And oops, sorry about that. Grab the next one in, which is going to be this one, and bring it over, under, and pull up, over, under, and pull up. So this is the same thing we were doing above. We're just heading a different direction now. Over, under, and tighten it this way. Oops. And do one more. I always forget the second half of my knots. I get going quickly. Okay. Over, under, and there we go. Tight, and last one. And look at that. Isn't that cool looking? I think that looks really, really neat. Let's loosen it. And so a couple of places we could take this. We could continue to create knots going that way, and you would basically just get another triangle like that. We could go all the way to the other side. And that right there would be super cute. But I kind of like the way that it's staying cascaded like this, and I wonder if there isn't another way for us to start traveling back this way. But we would need to fill this in with something. I'm going to muse on that for 1 second. I may end up just going with what's here, but I'm just thinking about it. It's kind of fun. All right, yeah. So I think I do want to see it. I want to see it as just kind of like two waffle fries next to each other. It's a beginner thing. I will definitely be doing more like this. I want to do some of the more, shape inspired ones where the swirls keep changing direction. And but this is great practice for me, getting the tension and everything kind of figured out for, the more repeating designs. That really good for the hand for learning. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this row, and then I'll explain. We're basically going to repeat everything we did in the direction heading right. I'm going to repeat that, but heading left with every cord. And so every time you do this, you'll have one less cord than last time. And bring that under. And then earlier during some of my experimentation, I had discovered some beads that fit on the cords really pretty, that are a little smaller and match this one really nicely. And so I think I'm going to do a little dangly thing. I love doing that. There we go. All right. That's pretty. Look how gorgeous that ends up looking. That'd be a lovely bracelet too. So these can go up here. This next one is going to come down across all of these. And then we're going to, of course, want to secure all of these here at the bottom. Some of the cords are starting to get short. That 27 inches always seems like a lot until you get going. But I have a trick for that, and I'll show you if it happens to me. But basically, we just increase the length here. We can lower it more, either by creating a new little attachment, or you can switch and work with your board sideways. Let's go over, under, and up. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, finish it all the way to the end. Oh, this is cute. It looks so ocean. Okay, so there's the filler cord there. I'm going to just stop and start the camera after each start so you can see the setup. But basically, it's going to be take that next cord. That's on the right this time, right? Bring it over. Secure it. And then here, we're going to be working with each of these cords. So we'll bring this one over. And it's loose until you get that first one. So here's this one here. Over, under, and up. Over, under, and tighten. Okay, and then bring that one over here. Now the rest of it's going to be a lot easier. And the next one I want to tie is this one. Okay. This one. Nope, forgot to stop the camera, sorry. Over, under, over. Maybe we'll just finish it together. We're not far off from being done. Over, under, over. And there we go. Okay. And then just each time you just move that filler cord up. Take a look at the strands left. And bring the next one that is on the far right over. Secure it to the side. Okay. And then over, under, over, repeat. Okay, and then we're going to give this one a tighten. Okay, getting there. This is the new filler. Bring it over. Tighten. Okay, bring the next one in from the right as the knotting cord. Next one in from the right as the knotting cord. There we go. Okay. And last but not least, we just have these two to go. So we're going to bring this one over that one. The one the furthest on the right is going to come over the one. And this one we're just going to have to manually hold because we have nothing to tuck into the sides and the bottom. So over, under, over, and then just pull up on this one as you're tightening and it'll stay tight. Finish that knot the same way. Over, under, over. Oh, that does look cute. That is a cool look. I could see that as a bracelet. I would enjoy doing a bracelet like that. Okay, let's finish it up. Let's take the far left cord this time, bring it over all the cords, and go ahead and secure it over here. And at this point, if most of your cords aren't reaching, so you'll notice some of them got shorter faster. They're used more. Let me just take a quick look and see if I've got enough length on any of these to secure. So my longest ones are here to the left. And as long as you have at least a few that can reach the bottom, it'll give you enough that you can make it tight. So just get some of them down there, whichever ones reach. So not all of mine reach, but they. And I kept these free because I'm going to knot these first. So these are over here. Bring this across all of them. You're staying over everything. Tuck it over here. And then let's start knotting with this cord. And after we knot with this one, we have some tension on the other side, which will really help us out. So there we go. The one. And I kind of always help that one a little bit. I don't know if you need to, but the direction changing one. It looks round, doesn't it? The way it just blends like that is so slick. Okay, so I'm going to just tighten that. Let's get the next one. Over, under, over. Cute. Okay. Next one. Great. Next one. Next one. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do this last cord here. Over, under, over, under, and tighten. Okay, what do we have? Things are starting to get short, so it's time to wrap up the design. So idea that I have a bunch of these little white beads. I'm going to bring those out. And they all fit really nicely onto this cord. And so what I did, or what I'm thinking I'll do, is put some on the bottom, tie a beautiful knot, and you'll have this gorgeous little keychain. There we go. So there's all the beads on there. And I can't quite decide if I'd like them to be tight. I think I'm going to go with loose, but I put extra beads on each strand as you start moving this direction. Gosh, that looks cool too. Goodness. So the furthest one ended up having 8. Basically, add 1 per strand going that direction. And so you just kind of get something that looks like that. Let me see if I can make it make sense really quick. There. So a little bit like that, but I think I'm going to go with loose. And so let's take a look. So sometimes what I do is I look at my shortest strand And my shortest one's going to be the second one in here. It's going to be this one here. So let's make all of them about this length. So let's see what length I can achieve with this one. And I'm just going to go over and around one time, overhand knots, but with a two through the loop. And I'll do this a couple times. Push that down as far as I can. I'd like that to go to the bottom. And one thing about this cord is it makes a really lovely knot. So just like that. Now the trick is going to be kind of matching that length. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of extend these two, and let's try to put the knot here. So over, through the loop, go through the loop one more time. And I'm just going to pinch right here. In this case, I'm trying to push the knot upward. Hopefully I got that. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so how'd I do? That one ended up being a little longer. It's okay. I'm going to live with that. And just trim it for now. And same thing here. So go ahead and do that. Just tie a bunch of little overhand knots where you go through the loop twice. And don't worry too much about the length of where you put the knot. It's going to look cute regardless. All right, so that's about it. So now trim them as close as you can. Not as close as you can to the knot, forgive me. A little bit away from the knot if you're not going to burn it. Now, if you're going to burn them, you can cut as close to the knot as you'd like. But I wasn't thinking I would burn these. I was thinking I would cut them on an angle and just let it angle like that. But if you want to burn the ends, you can. But this was a burn-free design, so there you go. All right, no fire required. Let's hold it out. There it is. Isn't it cute? I think I got the lengths right. It took me a few tries. I had to kind of play with it, but I feel like I'm really happy with this design. It's a great start. You know, one thing I'm looking at it thinking I might even do, just because I love it so much, but I feel like I do want more on that first strand. The first strand looks a little lonely, doesn't it? I wonder if I could trim it just a little and even maybe put a few more beads on. I have a few of these left. So the other thing I thought about is I wonder if I could use some of these tassels that came on these beads to maybe get super creative and maybe put a tassel on the corner of this one. I mean, that could look super cute. So I just have a lot of playing to do still. I'm going to remove those beads and just see what would happen if I'm kind of toying with the idea of putting that on there. Let me show you. Can you see it? It's not really, I'd have to figure out how I secure it. But yeah, I mean, something cute could happen there. I think what's, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe I need to just put a little more weight on that with some more beads. So I might do that and then just see how that looks. And I just love this tassel that came with it. So I need to do something with that. If not in this design, then in something. There we go. I added the bead. I just paused and added it. I feel like it needed 3 there. I don't know. There's got to be some way to kind of make these pull together. If you guys have ideas, drop them in the suggestion for me. But maybe a bigger bead here, just because the filler cord ends up just sticking out a little more to the, in this case, the whatever direction this is for me, my left. The other solution also could be to make this one weigh a little more, and then it would hang down more and it would symmetrify it. Now I'm making up words. What do you think? Do you guys like it? I think I'm going to go with this for my first, ad hoc macrame on the fly design. Not bad. Just trying an idea that I wanted to see. And we're going to call this one the waffle fries, which I think is a great cue for me to go get some dinner. And so when you guys, I air this on the Seed to Bead Saturday, which will be tomorrow, August 2nd. But I'm recording it on Friday, August 1st. And so I just want to wish you a happy Saturday night at the time wherever you are. And I will see you for Silver Silk Sunday on August 3rd. Or if you're watching this on replay at some point in the future, check out my calendar, DanielleWickesJewelry.com. Calendar's right there on the homepage. I'm always doing something. So I'd love to have you join. All right. Have a good rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. Bye for now.